Hey, what's going on, Atlanta Falcon fans? This your boy Antoine Smitty Sports Machine. Y'all know how I get down, man. Y'all know how I do it. Press that subscribe button. Also, press that notification bell to get my videos. As soon as I drop them, press that like button, man. Help me get my recommendations up. To get my video through the YouTube universe, I greatly appreciate y'all as always. But right quick, man, very, very quick. I'm going to give y'all my top 5 Atlanta Falcons wide receivers of all time. Now, there's a couple of people that won't make this list, but these 5 I feel like they're the best all time in Atlanta Falcons history. Their number says so. The play on the field says so. And I say so. But while this video is going, man, if y'all see something that y'all disagree with, drop it in the comment box. And tell me how y'all feel. Give me y'all top 5 Atlanta Falcons wide receivers. But here we go, man. Let's get this thing going. First off, I'm going to go Alfred Jenkins, man. Alfred Jenkins was one of the first deep threats the Atlanta Falcons had in their entire franchise history, starting way back in 1975. And it's 50 years to be exact since he came out of Morris Brown. And he was undrafted, believe it or not. He went to a football league, played for the Birmingham, I think with the Americans, if I'm not mistaken. But he went undrafted, but he didn't play undrafted. You talk about a deep threat, a vertical threat, man. He was only about 5'10", 5'11", but he had blazing speed. And he had an uncanny way of getting free. And his numbers reflected 360 catches for 6,267 yards. Pretty good career. 62, 67, 17.4 yards a catch for his career, 40 touchdowns. And in his best season in 1981, that Falcons offense that was pretty much unstoppable, he had 70 catches for 1,358 yards, a whopping 19.4 average yards a catch. 13 touchdowns also led the league. So he led the league in yards, touchdowns, yards a game. Ended up with his second Pro Bowl, first team All Pro, and he ended up retiring in 1983 after playing 10 last 2 seasons with injury problems, and he only played 19 games his last 2 seasons. But he's going to be remembered as one of the best deep threats, one of Barkowski's favorite targets, along with Jim Mitchell. They were a nice duo back in the day, and one of the Falcons' top 3 quarterback wide receiver duos in history. Number 4, I'm going to go with my main man, Terence Matthews, and shout out to him, man. He's always supporting the show, and I definitely appreciate it. He's been on the show numerous of times. Talk to him every now and then, text, make sure he's okay. But he's one of these Atlanta Falcons unsung heroes because if you remember his first 4 seasons in the NFL with the New York Jets was pretty much special teams. He get plays here and there. And he only had, what, I would say about 90 catches during that time in New York. He had, I think, 93 catches for over 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns. But when he gets to Atlanta, very first season in Atlanta, makes his first and only Pro Bowl in Atlanta, but he stayed consistent throughout. Um, you look at his numbers, first season in Atlanta, 111 catches, 1,342 yards, 11 touchdowns. And like I say, his first Pro Bowl. And then he had the best quarterback. Well, not the best quarterback, but the quarterback that could get him the ball in Jeff George at that time in that run and shoot offense. You had three players, I think, one season had 1,000 yards receiving. So it was the perfect system for Terence Matthews. He took advantage of it, made a Pro Bowl. But in Atlanta, he had 4 seasons over 1,000 yards and ended up with 8,800 for his career. 7,349 of those were with Atlanta. 57 touchdowns, which is right now third in Atlanta Falcons history still to this day. So you talk about the guy that made key catches. You remember the Minnesota 1998 NFC Championship game? He made the game time touchdown catch. So he was always clutch, man. He was always clutch. And one thing about Atlanta Falcons fan, they know when Terrence Matthews hit the field, he was going to come through in the clutch or make a key catch. And he had hands of glue, man. He could catch anything. So shout out to Terrence Matthews. He's going to be number 4 on my list. And again, he's one of the most unsung heroes in Atlanta Falcons history that I think don't get enough credit for. Number 3 on my list, man, I'm going to go Bad Moon Andre Rison. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was a 10-year-old kid living off Bankhead. And I still knew my football because I did my reading in elementary school. 5th grade, and I love to talk sports, and I still do. And I started at an early age. I'm telling y'all that right now. But I was like, who the hell is Andre Rison and where he's coming from? When they made that deal with Indianapolis. But to my surprise, very first year he showed me who he was. 82 catches, 1,208 yards, 10 touchdowns, made his first Pro Bowl. And he didn't let off the gas while he was in Atlanta. He had 10 touchdowns or more in 4 to 5 seasons he was in Atlanta, including 15 in 1993, where he led the NFL. That season, he had 1,200 yards, 86 catches, and outside of Sterling Sharp and Jerry Rice, Andre Rison is the name you heard the most. And he had that crazy dance called the Bird Walk, and everybody in Atlanta was doing it. But he had a nice run in Atlanta. But I think he could have, to me, stayed a little longer. But you know how contracts are. And Jeff George was another one of those quarterbacks that could get him the football just like Matthews. They were on the same team, both of these guys, over 1,000 yards. He ended up with 8 touchdowns in 94. When I just told y'all Terence's numbers in 94, he was a Pro Bowler. So if you think about it, man, Atlanta had a nice squad, man, back in 1994. They just had a quarterback that couldn't keep his head on. That would have been one of the greatest offenses all time had he kept his cool together. But Andre Rison, man, he ended up with 5,600 yards in the Atlanta Falcons uniform, 423 catches, and 56 touchdowns, one behind Terence Matthews for number 3. He's number 4 on the list. And one thing about Andre Rison, wherever he went, he put on a show. And even in Kansas City in 1997, he made a Pro Bowl again and had a 1,000-yard season with 7 touchdowns. But I think had he stayed in Atlanta with a decent quarterback, I think his career would have turned out much better, and we'd be talking probably first ballot Hall of Famer. But you know, things happen, and we can't control it. But Andre Rison is number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list, y'all know who it is, man. Is Sherrod White, known as Roddy White. Atlanta Falcons, man. This guy, once he found that switch, when he turned it on, could nobody turn it off. He struggled with his hands his first 2 years in the league, and I feel like, you know, with the quarterback turnover from Mike Vick to these Byron Leftwiches and who else, Joey Harrington and those guys, it kind of limited him a little bit. But that third season, man, he hit the ground running. 83 catches that third year, 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. This was the beginning of Roddy White being one of the top receivers in the NFL. He'll never get credit for it, but you talk about a guy who had 6 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. I think only Julio had done that, if he had done it. But 2010 was his best season ever, 115 catches, 1,389 yards, double-digit touchdowns with 10. AP first team All-Pro, Pro Bowler. He had 4 Pro Bowl appearances while he was here. But you talk about a guy that had 808 yards, 10,863 yards receiving, one and only 2 Falcons to hit that 10,000-yard mark in the Atlanta Falcons uniform. In the Atlanta Falcons uniform, and that's Julio Jones, who y'all know, who's probably going to be number 1. He had 63 touchdown catches, still tops Falcons all the time. And Roddy was just a class act, man. He's still an ambassador for the Falcons. You see him around town. I actually met him once before. A very stand-up guy. Had a decent conversation, man. And he's just an all-around, you know, down-to-earth guy, man. And we appreciate Roddy for still being an ambassador for the Atlanta Falcons. So when you see Falcon stories pop up on the news or on these networks during NFL Sundays, you're going to see Roddy White's face. But Roddy, man, shout out to you, and thank you for being an upstanding citizen for the Atlanta Falcons. And yeah, he's easily number 2 on this list. Could have battled for number 1 in some people's eyes. But y'all know who number 1 is, man. None other than Julio Jones, man. Julio Jones was a freak of nature. They traded a good bit in the NFL draft to go up and get him. And in the end, it was pretty much worth it because they said some things happened for a reason. They were going for A.J. Green, but Cincinnati wanted too much. And I'm sorry. They wanted too much in the trade to get A.J. Green, so they opted for Julio Jones, is how the story goes. But again, things happen for a reason. And it worked out for the Falcons. He almost had 1,000 yards his first season in the NFL. 8 touchdowns, 54 receptions. That's a 17.8 clip, which is ridiculous. And We talk about a guy, 6'3", about 220 pounds, freak of nature, can jump, high jump, he can high point the ball, he can run any route in the route tree. His He runs like a crackhead running from the police once he gets the ball. But 2015, man, I think it was his coming out party. 136 catches, 1,871 yards, 8 touchdowns, 116 yards a game, which led to NFL. And he did that 3 times, over 100 yards leading the NFL. And the crazy part about it, at one point, he was at 95.5 yards a game, each game average. That was NFL record. Even after, he left Atlanta, just the reason why his numbers dipped. It dipped down to 82.5, but you can't deny what he did in Atlanta. You talk about a guy that's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, Offensive Player of the Year in that race. So the way he left, we don't agree with it, but you can't deny that Julio Jones was one of the better Atlanta Falcons of all time. You could probably rank him in the top 3. He ended his career in Atlanta with 12,896 yards. As I said, him and Roddy were the only 2 wide receivers to go over 10,000 yards as an Atlanta Falcon. He had 848 receptions. So he did his thing, man. 60 touchdowns, which I wish that could have been more. And he still ended his Atlanta career with 15.2 average yards per reception and 95.5 yards, as I said earlier, per game of receiving yards. So Julio did his thing in Atlanta, and he's number 1 on my list. I don't know about y'all, but y'all dropped y'all comments in the comment box. I gave y'all my 5 Atlanta Falcons wide receivers all the time. Y'all give me y'all's in the comments. Let me know. And let's debate it. Let's talk about it, man. It's your boy Antoine Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.